Hello, it's Chaplain73 here for another interview on my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in and watching. I'm joined today by Lynn Toulcher, a good friend of mine I've known for a few years, and an artist. Hi Lynn, how you doing?
Evening, Bubba. Pretty good, how's you?
I'm very well, thank you. I will start with the first question that I ask everybody. Who are you, what do you do, and where are you based?
Okay, I'm Lynn. Currently, I'm doing a lot of work with murals. I'm based in North Somerset, Weston-super-Mare. We get about a bit. Apart from murals, I'm just sat twiddling my thumbs because good old COVID stopped me kickstarting all the things I wanted to do. I wanted to be having my own social enterprise by now. I wanted to be doing workshops, but no, I started painting, I should say, with Martin to keep me going in the meantime. And yeah, it's taken a bit of a curve from there. So
Life throws us a curveball at times, doesn't it?
done it just, but I caught this one a good one.
Yeah, I think COVID has scuppered a lot of people's plans for last year, but hopefully, fingers crossed, you know, in a few months' time, we'll be able to start putting some of it into motion.
Well, let's hope so, you know. I mean, it did throw me the old curveball with not being able to do this new venture. But bizarrely enough, I've never been so busy since lockdown with all the things that we've done for the community. So I think I'm probably one of the few people that's going to say it's not been a bad trip for me, you know, not as far as that goes. So.
Yeah, I think if we all look hard enough, we can hopefully find something good that has come of it. You know, I was talking to Nathan from the Background Bob project earlier, and a lot of artists got involved in that, and it was, you know, that was something good that came from the lockdown and the situation that we were in last year. And
that was an amazing project.
Yeah. So you've been involved in organising several paint jams. I've had the pleasure of attending a couple. Tell us a bit about the experience and what you've learned from it, and do you have any advice for anyone thinking of doing it themselves?
Advice: not unless you've got a degree in herding cats.
Yeah.
I thought joking apart, joking apart, it's a really good thing to do. There's a lot of things to look at. You've got to have a good team behind you. You can never do a jam just by yourself. The more people you get on with, the more people you're going to get turning up, whether it's to paint or whether it's just to come down and see the party, you know. It's a challenge doing them, and if I had to do them by myself, as I say, I'd never manage it.
Yeah.
It's always a good one if in your district, if you're friendly with the council and you've got contacts there, it widens the areas that you can do a spray jam in, because apart from that, it's got to be private land, which really limits you, you know. But volunteers as well, you have to holler loud and long for as many volunteers as you've got, and then that way no one's run ragged, and it seems that everybody wants to do the party time stuff. No one wants to come and help prep the boards and all the boring stuff before that. But yeah, go get your degree in herding cats, get a bit of patience, be prepared to just be able to change plans at a second. Yeah. Swap artist boards at a second, because someone will always come up with something they can't come up that day or whatever. I would say never run a spray jam during COVID, because the one that I did back in September, it was great that people turned up, but I was to comply with, you know, the regulations and whatever. We had to have people so many boards apart. No, you can't do both days. Blah 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 blah. And that side of it was bloody nightmare, to be truthful.
Yeah.
And it was great to see the people, but we couldn't have the music. We didn't want to make it a thing that all the public would, you know, want to attend. I couldn't really publicise it apart from the artists that were in it beforehand. It all had to be done after the event.
Yeah.
So, but it was good. The artists loved it, and the amount of artists that came up and said, "Do you know what? Do you mind if I say the odd naughty word?"
I don't mind, Lynn. No.
I think after this year, we're all bound a few of them. But the amount of people said, "We've had a shit of a year, and like, it is so nice to be out here and doing something we didn't think we'd be able to do, you know." And
Yeah.
I also got the notoriety of, had that bloody jam been one day later, we wouldn't have been able to do it. It would
Yeah.
have been locked right down. So, I must stay for that.
Yeah, I mean, I came up and it was a very, very different experience for a paint jam.
Yeah.
From an artist's point of view, I mean, usually there's a lot of people there. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of other stuff going on other than art. There's a lot to see. There's, you know, loads of people, and it was very well organised. I will give you that. The free Kit Kats always help.
Oh, Kit Kats. Now, that is the one bit of advice I forgot. Always give your artists Kit Kats. They'll love you forever.
Lure the cats in with Kit Kats.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I've really enjoyed being part of the paint jams that you've organised, and I've always found them to be really good events.
Thank you.
SSOSVA, moving on to SSOSVA, the Secret Society of Supervillain Artists. If anybody doesn't know what SSOSVA is, who's watching, it's played a big part in your art journey. I know that because you've got a tattoo on your head. You're wearing a SSOSVA t-shirt as we speak. I can see a SSOSVA logo on your jacket. I've seen one painted on your car at some point.
Yep.
So how do you feel it's impacted upon your art or your artistic journey? And what else has influenced your art and your style?
Okay, SSOSVA, quite a few. Back in the early days, someone mentioned it to me. I had a look-see. I loved the initial wackiness of it. And as Bill said, to be quite honest, he was bored, didn't have much to do, and he thought he'd start as a joke, you know. Well, it really quickly went much further than a joke. But the one thing that I've always been very keen on from the beginning, for me, art isn't just art.
Yeah.
Art is about people and involving people in it, getting people to see it. And this was SSOSVA all over. There are so many charity events, art auctions, art events, parties, and it didn't matter whether you were a big fish or a little fish, a real pro, or you'd only just started. You all of a sudden had this platform where globally you could say, "I don't know how to." And you'd have like 50 people go in, "We can tell you." Another side of it from the people side, I mean, the art side is massive. The charity and the amount they raise for different, you know, things going on. But the other side of it is we've all had our hard times, and I've had a few throughout the years, you know. And I found when I've had a hard time, all of a sudden, someone's pinging me a message and going, "Give us your address, our kid. We got something here for you." And they will send you like a little gift, you know. It's not the end of the world. It's not a big thing. But then you find you're watching them online and it's like, "Oh, crap, they're not going through that, are they?" So before you know it, you go, "Here, I got this hanging about." Or like if the kids are having a hard time, "Hey, can I send them up an art pack? Or can I send them some sweets?" So it's this real thing about people all the time. And that's what drives me. It's people and art, not just the art, you know? So
I keep
That's what
hearing this from artists over and over again. It's that sense of community, that sense of belonging to something, that sense of, you know, people. It's about the people. It's not about the art. It's not about your skills. It's not about your talent. It's not about, you know, what level you're at. That none of that really matters. It all fades into insignificance. Where it's more about the people and the people working together and looking out for each other. And I know
and
that when I first met you, the first time I properly met you, I'd obviously spoken to you online several times, but the first time I properly met you is when I said, I'm coming up to Weston-super-Mare, has anybody got somewhere I can crash? And you were like, yeah, sure, come and crash at my house. You know, and that's what SSOSVA was, that's what SSOSVA is to me. It's kind of like, you know, that sense of community that, you know, you're welcome to come and spend time with me and break bread and drink or whatever. You know, it's that kind of sense of community, which is fabulous.
it's a real support network, isn't it? You know, and not only are they supporting any of us artists, they support our supporters. I mean, look at all the. I'm not going to start reeling off all the different projects they've done.
Yeah.
You know, just about anybody that knows about SSOSVA knows of all those projects. And I tell you what, see this finger jabby. Any of you lot watching, if you don't know about SSOSVA, go and do your bloody homework. They're marvellous.
Yeah, endorsed by Lynn and myself. So what else do you think has influenced your art and your style? What got you into art?
Again, going back to people, the reason why I first started doing art, it's going to sound a bit sort of like doolally now. I was an only kid, so I didn't particularly want an imaginary friend. I made my friends on paper, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, people think I'm strange enough as as it is. If I suddenly started talking to little Hubert in the corner, I'm sure they'd put me somewhere, you know? But no, I did art to... That was my friend when I was a kid. As I grew up, I think when you first start putting your art out there, you get a little bit unsure. Oh my God, what are people going to think? Are they going to say this is crap, you know? But when you start talking to genuine people, and there are a few artists, but they are few and far between, yeah? Then suddenly you find, well, actually, what I've done there ain't so bad by what they're saying, you know?
Yeah.
And it's great on that side. And since I've been where I got waylaid, couldn't do my own thing, so I started volunteering with Martin Darcy, and we did the recognition mural.
Right.
And that was when, really when, the effect of art on the general community really kicked in. We were right in the middle of the high street. We had, it was actually a hard job to paint because so many people were coming up, socially distanced. We were behind a barrier, I have to put that in. But so many people were coming up and wanting to know what we were doing, why we were doing it, why was it this way. And you couldn't be rude, you know.
Yeah.
You basically wanted to get on and finish it, but you couldn't be rude. And that kind of catapulted us a bit. But it wasn't just me and Martin. We had Taryn came in with us, lovely local lass called Vix came in with us, Rachel came in with us, Squinty came in with us. Different people were there at different times, or we were at different... It's a bloody great big board, you know? And it was just this colour that we were splashing up on a wall. It was bringing so many people together, yeah? Another community mural we've just done. Have you seen the orca and the turtle?
Yeah. Looks amazing.
That scared the pants off of me. That involved big ladders and a wall. Honestly, I have never done a wall that big before, ever.
Yeah,
Even
it's a very big wall.
Martin. Yeah, Martin is really good at what he does, but it was a challenge for him, and it's actually been a dream of his for a long time. So Martin's very much influenced me, and we have totally different styles, but we find where I'm OCDC and he can be all woohoo, whack it on.
Yeah.
We kind of like either tame each other down or pep each other up. Do you see what I mean? So we do paint quite well together. Yeah.
Bouncing off each other, isn't it?
Yeah, and it works really well. I mean, we are now talking about potentially. We've looked into it, and if I can't start my social enterprise, we're going to try and find a way of me doing this professionally, but I want to leave room for my social enterprise, so I don't want to take it on like, 5 days a week,
Yeah.
But it is starting to shape up there, and whatever I do, we will definitely be painting together regularly. I'm just not sure what sort of basis it's going to be on at the moment, so.
Yeah. The next question is a question I really enjoy asking people because I really love hearing their answers. If you could spend 24 hours with an artist, living or dead, doesn't matter. You can go back in a time machine. Who would it be and why?
Okay, typical girl here. I can't have one pair of shoes. I've got to have 500, so I'm going for a duo. 24 hours. I would love 24 hours with Dali. That's surrealism.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at the way the dude looked with that funky little moustache. Art wasn't just on a surface for him. He was art. He was walking art, And the other chap that I'd like to add into the party is not strictly an artist, but is Spike Milligan.
Yeah.
He did do some really nice little bits of art. Look at all the music he wrote for the grandchildren, the fairy woods in the London parks. And from a people's side of view, one was a complete bohemian, and the other one was just absolutely dogged by mental health issues. But it made both of them very, very different, interesting people. And to see those two together with me in the middle of it, do you know what? I'd be happy as Larry. That would be a meeting and a half. Like.
Yeah, I can imagine it actually then. So you've mentioned already you've been involved in a few mural projects lately. So what's in store for the future? You've covered it slightly already, but have you got anything else that you could share with us about what you're planning over the next year or two?
Cool, blimey, you better go off and make a cup of tea because there's a whole load coming out now. Regardless of not being able to rock up this social enterprise thing just yet, I'm currently devising a workshop so that when COVID's over and done with, I'm going to be working with some Girl Guides. Now, I'm going to get in trouble here because I call them Girl Scouts, but it's Girl Guides, yeah. And we're going to do be aware, care, and share. And we're going to make them into graffiti artists. If they can find a permanent wall somewhere that's private, we will go out and we will do it on the wall. If not, we'll get in a load of boards and we'll do it in their little meeting hut or whatever. But we're going to go all the way through it. Going to dazzle them a bit with like laser lights. Going to do the doodle grid with them compared to the just general grid. Going to show them some fun stuff. And it's like, well, like all artists, you've got to go do your homework, go and do your artist proofs. Let's see what looks best. And so we've got that coming. There are talks of working with a couple of local schools, about 3 different projects so far. It's all to do with street art, getting it out there. Those are in the pipeline, not sure on that. One thing potentially that I'm very, very excited about. My spray jams have been compact and bijou, shall we say, so far, yeah? Well, I'm pushing my hardest to go big scale now, and I want to take Western over 4 years and have a different quarter of Western each year. By the time the 5th year comes, guess what? Quarter 1 is ready to be redone again, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, I have support from several councillors on this.
Yeah.
There's several agencies that are interested, but it's a big one. And of course, COVID again, it's knocking things a little bit on the head. But if we can rock that up, that will be absolutely great. And do you know what? I don't know about herding cats. I'm going to be herding a damn sight more than cats if we manage to get that together. But, you know, guys, when you hear me shouting out, come along, because it's going to be a big one, the next one I do, if everything goes okay, you know?
Yeah.
And apart from all that, like I said, I'm still going to be painting with Martin. I just enjoy the company. I enjoy what we do. We do little things like we've got gardens off of the seafront, and it had been plagued by little oiks that had gone into Dad's garage. And among all the rockeries up there, they have these like little, not gremlins, but cute little pottery faces, and they're dotted about stones. And these little oiks were going up, spraying them with blue spray paint. So we got a call and like, could we go up there and try and do something about it? So we removed paint. I think we did it a couple of times before the little oik's dad's garage supply had run out, you know. But it was the fact that people, again, it was, although it was reverse art, we were getting rid of it. It was the community coming to us, not us going to the community, you know. So that was great. And well, in fact, they were so happy that we did it for them. Me and Mark ended up with a voucher to go and get some plants from a local plant shop to sort of like express their thanks, you know. So it's a feel good factor, you know. You do something in public, you make someone smile, and there really is nothing better than that, you know. That's where I want to go. That's where I want to stay.
Well, as you've expressed all the way through this chat, art can really bring a community together, and it's great.
Yeah, totally.
Brilliant. Well, I look forward to seeing some of that, Lynn, in the future. And thank you so much.
You know what? Next spray jam, you're first on the list, mate.
Well, thank you so much for spending some time today. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to talk to you and learn a little bit more about what you're up to and what you've been up to over the last 12 months or so. It's been great, as usual, to talk to you. Thank you.
Barbara, it's always a pleasure to have a natter with thee.
You take care, Lynn. If you like what you've heard today and you've seen today, please subscribe to my channel below. I'm going to be interviewing loads more artists over the forthcoming months. So please subscribe now, and then you'll be in the right place to see the new interviews. And thank you for tuning in today. Much appreciated.